what's good about what I see out here today is the youth.
All right now.
Yes. It's the youth.
All right.
I'm saying,
All right now.
us seasoned folks, this look good to us.
That's right.
Because most people think that the movement isn't moving. When you look around, when we look around and we see the fire that the youth had with them. And some of the youth that we see here today, they were babes in the arms. And
weren't
they
even
were
born.
babies.
Weren't even
And
born.
some wasn't even born.
That's right now.
But they're here on the front line now,
right.
just like their mothers and fathers was, and are demanding justice.
right.
So I'm saying we hope with this generation that is something become a reality.
So I'm here to introduce Isolina and Manolo from Iglesia San Romero de las Americas from the Political Prisoner Ministry.
As a church, we believe that it is a sin to put an innocent man in prison and have him on death row for 27 years.
All right.
So, since it is a sin, and what do we do with sins?
We get rid of them.
We get rid of them, we denounce them, and we stand up against them.
Was
If
a
you don't know,
revolutionary.
Jesus Christ was a political prisoner.
That's right.
He was killed.
Lynched.
He was killed
Go ahead.
by the empire, by the Roman Empire.
By the
And we're not going to allow the modern empire, the United States,
That's right.
to kill Mumia.
No, sir.
That no matter who is in the White House, no matter who's in the White House, the death penalty is going to continue to be carried out in Texas and other places in Georgia, etc. That the police brutality is going to continue. All of the issues that we're talking about today will continue. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. But on the other hand, we want to use this new political situation to push the struggle forward. Because we know that people are not just waiting to see what Barack Obama is going to do. They want to also be involved in the struggle. And so we want to continue to get the message of Mumia out there. I think there's tremendous potential for raising Mumia's struggle to a broader political audience. And we have to continue to do that, and connecting his struggle and generalizing his struggle to all of the different issues that are going on in this country, because that's what exactly he is doing from the depths of death row in Pennsylvania. They cannot silence him. And we're going to refuse, we're not going to be silenced either, brothers and sisters. And that's why we're out in the streets today. And people in Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, other cities around the country are having these important activities around Mumia, because this is an International Day of Solidarity for Mumia Abu-Jamal. And so solidarity has to start right here in this country. I'd like to introduce an important national leader of Fight Imperialism Stand Together, who just returned from a speaking engagement in Montana for Mumia Abu-Jamal. I'd like to introduce Larry Hales.
My name is Larry, as I was introduced, and I'm a member of the youth group Fight Imperialism Stand Together, or FIST. And if everybody just for a moment can put your fist in the air. Everybody get your fist in the air if you can. A few days ago, we just commemorated 39 years that have passed since our brothers Mark Clark and Fred Hampton were brutally assassinated by the Chicago Police Department. We don't intend to commemorate the murder of our brother Mumia Abu-Jamal.
No, sir.
Nor do we intend to commemorate 40 years like we have with our brother Rushel McGee.
That's right.
We don't intend to let any of our political prisoners be locked up in chains and prisons for another 5-10 years. There is a new political situation, and it's not about one individual who's in a lofty office who is the face of U.S. imperialism. It's about the hopes and the ideals of the people who want and dream of something better that catapulted this person to this position.
All right now.
It is about the objective nature of a system where people are being laid off in droves and are suffering, being kicked out of their homes, and are being forced to have to pay for things with wages that have been stagnated or that have gone down when the prices of goods and services continue to go up. This is a situation where people are going to be radicalized. There was a young person who passed by and she said, "Who is Mumia? Who is Mumia?" when we pass by. And so that gave me an opportunity to talk to her, introduce to her who Mumia is. But a lot of young people, see, people think that young people, and young is relative because I'm 32 years old. I still consider myself to be young. But there are people who are 17 and 15, and they have come up in an educational system that has tried to destroy their critical thinking skills. An educational system that is still a system that is ruled by the ideal of white supremacy. And people think that these young people aren't paying attention. They're not asleep. They're not asleep, but they don't have the benefit of the great social struggles that people had with the two generations before them had. But right now, they have the worst economic situation that this country and that the world has faced since the Great Depression, and this will radicalize them. The conditions of suffering are what will radicalize them. And as people begin to get radicalized to fight back against these conditions, they will also begin to understand that there are people who've been locked down for years that were fighting against these conditions before they were even born. Some of them before their parents were even born. And that these people are their brothers and their sisters, and that while they fight against these conditions, they also must fight to win freedom for these political prisoners. See, because the idea of a political prisoner is that you have a system that is built off of the exploitation and off of racism, and all of those who dare to fight against it are enemies of that system. So that is why we deem them political prisoners, but also the over 2 million people, the 2.3 million people that are in prisons today are also political prisoners. Because we can't hope to get rid of crime and things like that until we change the social relations of this system.
Right now.
Then we can really deal with the idea of antisocial behavior. But how can you have antisocial behavior in a system that is antisocial? Because it's capitalism. Let's call it like it is, capitalism. Let's bury capitalism, smash capitalism, smash the capitalist ruling class, and we take these criminals, like one of the biggest criminal in the world today, one of the biggest criminals in the history of human societies is here today, I heard. This man right here. So he is a young man, and we can look forward to the day when that bastard is behind bars.